evening and welcome to the Odsal Stadium here in Bradford for this Wednesday evening Stonesborough Championship clash at the beginning of February. And Hull just taking the field here in what is a vital game for them. Recent defeats, 2 league defeats, have meant that Hull slipped down to 8th place in the league. Bradford on the same number of points, 16, ahead on points difference, but 3 games in hand. So really Hull desperately needing a win tonight to get firmly established again in the top 8. Let's have a look at the 2 sides of the lineup tonight. The news is that Ivan Henjak pulled a hamstring in training last night, is out of the Hull side. But Bradford have got a number of injuries from the cup tie against Workington on Sunday, and they have 2 debutant wingers tonight. So let's have a look at the Hull lineup first of all. Richard Gay at fullback, Paul Eastwood and Gary Nolan on the wings, James Grant and Rob Nolan in the centres. Scott Gale and Andy Dearlove comes in at scrum half for Ivan Henjak. Front row, Andy Dannett, Lee Jackson and Mark Jones. Steve McNamara and Russ Walker in the second row, and John Sharp at loose forward. A very solid looking Hull pack with the substitutes Chico Jackson and Ian Marlowe. Good to see Ian Marlowe back. Had a half a game in the A team last Friday, and he's a very, very vital member of the Hull side. It's good to see him back in the squad. The Bradford side, only 2 unfamiliar faces, but most of their key positions are filled with regular first teamers. Keith Mumby, the veteran, is at fullback. On the wings, David Turpin and Richard Darks, both of whom are making their debuts tonight. Steve McGowan and Tony Anderson in the centres. Neil Summers and Dave Watson, the halfbacks. Derek Fox, of course, out for 5-6 weeks with a groin injury. David Hobbs, Glenn Barraclough and Paul Gratian make up the front row, with Roy Powell, Carl Fairbank and David Heron, a vastly experienced back 3. Their substitutes tonight are Brett Eatey and Alan Boothroyd. The referee, Mr. Russell Smith from Castleford, who's got charge tonight. Former Bradford player, I believe. And a good crowd in front of us here, but this Odsal Bowl is a vast cavern and it does look rather empty overall. So we're about to get underway. It's Bradford Northern to kick off. A lot of Hull support here. Here we go. Taken by Nolan. Eastwood runs off from acting halfback. It's under a swinging arm from Watson. Jones fumbles, but Bradford also fumble. And the first knock on will surely be the one that counts. As we're Bradford head and ball at this scrum. So a great attacking position for Bradford very early in the game, Brian Holwell.
Yeah, bad mistake there really from Mark Jones. First time he started a game for some time. That was quite impressive against Castleford. Watson. Put down there by Walker and Dearlove. Powell. Might as well see a lot of Roy Powell tonight. Gresham. Hobbs. Turns. Watson. Heron. Tony Anderson. Oh, inside ball. Good football by Bradford. Hull offside, under the posts. Steve McNamara. Good movement down the left wing there. David Hobbs going to take this kick at goal, quite easy. Pretty shaky start by Hull.
Yes, you put yourself under so much pressure with that handling error in the first set of 6. Gave Northern a great field position and a clear 6 tackles from the scrum, and although actually, Brian, for most of the players in that 6, they were struggling a little bit, and even on the one when they made the break, they looked to be going backwards. It was just a good bit of work by Tony Anderson that created the position.
Yeah, he did well, because Bradford did stand quite flat there. But an encouraging start for them. Hobbs. Good strike. So we've just been playing a couple of minutes, so it's Bradford 2, Hull 0.
So early points for Northern. They, of course, were employed last Sunday in the first round of the Challenge Cup. They had pretty tough game here against Workington, and they won it in the end, but against very spirited third division opposition who wouldn't give it away. And Bradford may well feel the bruises from that game. Hull, of course, for once having a free Sunday. This crazy fixture setup that we've got in rugby league means that Hull had a break last Sunday after a number of very tough games in a short time. Roy Powell. Now Fairbank, the man who in the league fixture at the Boulevard at the start of the season certainly impressed for Bradford Northern. Paul Gratian. Taken by Dunnett. Now back to Hobbs, a bit of pressure on Hobbs. Gets a good kick away though. Turns Richard Gay. And Richard Gay brings the ball out of his own 20-metre area. The pitch conditions really excellent down there tonight. This Oddsall pitch an awful lot better than it used to be. And there's very little wind. Jones. Good driving run by the prop. He makes a good 12 metres. The flat pass, missing out Dunnett, picking up McNamara within 5 metres of halfway. Russ Walker, good tackle by hooker Barraclough, third choice hooker here at Northern, but in the side tonight in the absence of Brian Noble and Trevor Clark. Kick down into the corner, it's taken by the young winger Richard Darks, and he's wrapped up on the 10-metre line. Andy Dearlove in the tackle. Very important that Hull hold Northern down in this 20-metre area. Here's Watson playing at scrum half in the absence of Derek Fox. Not really an organising player, but a player that loves to run at the opposition. Goes across the field using his fend, and strong player manages to wriggle out of tackles, but Bradford might miss a creative half-back link tonight. Heron, been a really excellent run of form since coming here from Leeds at the start of the season. Fairbank going from acting half-back. Kick through, fairly innocuous. Paul Eastwood sit off his foot, nifty bit of footwork. Dearlove. Jones will play it on the 40-metre line. To the short side, Sharp, dummy drop off. Brings in Nolan, Dunnett, Andy Dearlove. Good approach play by Hull. It's the last tackle, midfield position, 17 metres out. Gale goes to the air. Plenty of pressure. Northern have it. McGowan runs off from acting half-back, makes a good 12 metres. Some of the hardest metres to make in the ground. And now the winger Turpin, just fresh out of amateur football, local boy. Heron is at first receiver. It's the ball away to Anderson, straight out to Darks on the wing. Cuts back inside, almost beats Nolan. Bradford looking to spread the ball onto the wings. Gratian back to Watson. Watson again, that vicious left-handed fend. A really dangerous player, not an easy player to tackle at all, but he is wrapped up eventually. Last tackle. Knock on. Hull will have the turnover on the 20-metre line, Brian. Bit of chance to exert some pressure.
Yeah, certainly. Although Watson covered a lot of ground, Stevie, I think he finished up going about 3 yards back. Hull in a good attacking position. John Sharp. John Sharp still going. Gale. Gale goes. Oof. Walker. And a flat ball from Jackson. Richard Gay, good tackling by Northern, last tackle. Oh, chip through just too far for Lee Jackson there. Bradford to tap out on the 20. Fairbank. Turpin. Oh, Grayson misses that badly. Ray Jackson, McNamara. Dealer. Andy Dannett. Reaches the 10 metres. Sharp, wide and blind. Jackson, Gay, deep ball. Oh, but Northern defenders are up to it. A well-worked move that by Hull. Daleb again. Daleb. Gale. Rob Nolan coming into the gap. Last tackle. Hull will go right, I think. They've got men over. Gale goes from acting halfback. Chips. Runs right at Gratian. Penalty against Gratian. I thought he'd allowed play on first of all. So Scott Gale's got himself a penalty there. I thought, to be honest, from here it looks like he run into Gratian then. But easy chance now for Paul Eastwood. I think we'll probably find Hull might miss Njack's organising ability. Certainly did at Castleford in the last game. Because he's really been the cornerstone of Hull's attack since he came here from Australia. But it gives young Daleb a chance to make his mark. Certainly not lacking in ability, Daleb, and enthusiasm. There's a little bit of experience that Njack's got, and the ability to take the right decision, which I think has characterised Njack's work so far. Now it's Paul Eastwood. Getting a lot of stick from the Bradford supporters. Bradford have advantage of a slight wind in this first half. It's just moving the corner flags. But Russ Walker chose to kick into it, and Eastwood kicks the goal. So we've been playing just some 10 minutes, and it's Bradford Northern 2, Hull 2.
Yes, and after that early bit of Bradford pressure, which brought the penalty, it's really been all Hull. Most of the play in or around the Bradford 20-metre area. And Bradford's handling a bit suspect, bringing it away. So it's kick-off by Summers, taken by Russ Walker. And he gets back to the 20-metre area. Eastwood will pass from acting halfback this time to Rob Nolan. Jackson goes to acting halfback. Sharp is the decoy. Dannett hits it up. Andy Dannett certainly running strongly at this first. Knock on given. Andy Dannett appealing for the fact that he thought the ball was ripped from his grasp, but the referee quite insistent that that was a knock on. So the pattern as before, and a Hull handling error early in the tackle count, giving Bradford a good attacking position inside the Hull half. Watson to feed the scrum. Summers drops off McGowan. That's a good tackle by Steve McNamara. Heron switching at the ruck, taken by James Grant. Mumby up from fullback. Watson, Fairbank, takes 3 men to bring him down, still looking to turn and offload. Tremendously strong player. Hobbs kicks through. That's a pretty good kick. Richard Gay knocks on. Oh, penalty. Penalty against Northern for coming through with the foot. That, I think, against the youngster, David Turpin. But that was a pretty good kick by David Hobbs, Brian. It was well measured. Richard Gere was always struggling to get there.
Yeah, it held up well, didn't it? Yeah, difficult ball for Richard Gere to take, but fortunately for Hull, they got a penalty out of it. Paul Eastwood. Next about 20 metres for Hull. Jones. Running very strongly, Mark Jones. Dannett. Good run. Two good drives on the Hull props. Sharp. Knock on by John Sharp on the third tackle. Picture that, because Hull were going forward. Another unforced error. Referee stopped the play. I think it's David Heron who's been injured. Looks like a head injury. Yeah, unfortunate that, Steve. Hull with 3 drives, made 30 yards, look going forward, then another unforced error. Watson. Hull offside from the scrum. In centre field, signalled by the touch judge on our side. Summers going for touch. Ball to Barraclough. Summers. Hobbs. Didn't go very far forward there at all. Oh, bad ball from Acton half-back. Barraclough picked it up. Powell. Watson switching. Switching again to Fairbank. Will straighten up and go, and he does. Oh, good tackle by Andy Dannett. Heron. Watson loses it. Hull's ball. I think it's Steve McNamara. Jones. Walker. Playing second row tonight. Most of the season he's been playing in the front row. Dannett. Need a big game from Andy Dannett tonight. Jackson. McNamara. Sharp. Good support play by the Hull forwards. Scott Gale. Walker again. Oof. Grobner holding up the blind. Kicks it towards the young winger, Dark. Feels it well enough. Oh, shows a bit of pace, but runs across field into Steve McNamara. He's tackled 8 yards from his own posts. Barraclough will run off, he does. Mumby, back after his spell on loan at Sheffield. Gratian. Heron. Good tackle by Walker, last tackle. Ball's back to Summers. Big kick for by Summers. Richard Gere's ball. Oh, does well, does Gere. Half beats McGowan, but McGowan, between McGowan and Turpin, they managed to stop him. Gary Nolan running off. Makes another couple of yards. John Sharp, straight up the middle. McNamara, inside to Dannett. Dannett, straight up the middle. Oh, he should have parted. He had Lee Jackson with him. Gale. Dalov. Scott Gale kicks. Good up and under by Gale. Oh, taken by Mumby. Great take by Keith Mumby. Under a lot of pressure. Summers. Watson running off the match and half-back. Oh, good run by Watson. Oh, inside to the winger. Dark. He's got Fairbank with him. Tries to beat Gay. And doesn't. That was a let off for Hull. Fairbank. Oh, good tackle by Scott Gale. Hobbs straightens up and goes. Oh, and releases the ball, went his own way, the referee says. Last tackle. Watson kicks. Looks a bit strong to me, but it isn't. Northern's got to kick it dead. Holes up in the corners at Northern, where the speedway track is. The ball holds up in the in-goal area. Really, after looking absolutely nothing there, Bradford Northern, that quick break down the left spelled danger for Holstein.
It was good work by David Watson, but also, really, Brian, it was a great let-off, because I'm sure it was the inexperience of young winger Richard Dark. He really had a 3-on-1. All he needed to do was draw Richard Gay, and he had a man actually either side who could have scored with a walk-in, really. But he got himself a little bit lost, and as a result, Richard Gay was able to make the tackle, and Scott Gale assisted. So it's Northern back on the attack. Keith Mumby ducking and beating the tackle, taken by Eastwood 10 metres out. Hull under a lot of pressure here. Northern with a clear 5, 9 metres away. Blair Clough from acting half-back. Drops off Fairbank. Heron close into passing up the middle. Bad ball from Tony Anderson is picked up by Roy Powell. Powell is taken 15 metres away. Watson. Gratian. Back inside the Barrack Club. That's a good tackle by Lee Jackson. Read that very well. Heron drifting. Watson. Powell. Within 7 metres. It's the last tackle. What will Northern put in here? It's another kick. Watson goes for the kick. Oh, it's a lucky try. Well, that was a bit of great good fortune for Bradford Northern. The kick through by David Watson, kicked to nothing really, bounced off a Hull player and into the hands of Neil Summers, who had opened the line in front of him. Well, there's nothing you can do. You can't defend against a bit of fortune like that, Brian.
Terrible bit of luck for Hull. Great tries when you score them, but killers when people score them against you. So it's Neil Hobbs. That's David Hobbs, I should say, trying to make it 8 points for Northern. He does. Bradford defence. And the defence put Bradford under a lot of pressure until that breakout. Eastwood. Goes to Watson to Powell. The tireless Powell. Fairbank. Foul must be forward. Yeah, Fairbank got rid of the ball, but it obviously went forward as he swung round. Ball to Tony Anderson. So it gives Hull an attacking position just 20 metres out. Notice that Scott Gale's feeding the ball and Andy Dale's moved to standoff. Gale. Long ball to Richard Gay. John Sharp up the blind side. Inside to McNamara. Grant. To Dannett. Big run by Andy Dannett. Hull making the blind again. Sharp. straightening up. Side steps. Stopped by Watson. And I think it's David Hobbs. Gary Nolan for the line. Oh, 6 tackle. Really allowed to pass the ball then. Fairbank. Big runs by Carl Fairbank. Again taking 2 old defenders with him. Summers. Stopped by Jones. Creation. Heron. Powell. Fourth tackle. Hobbs. Long kick by David Hobbs. Richard Gay tries to beat Anderson, doesn't. Yes, he does at the second attempt. We had no support with him. Nolan. Jones. McNamara. Lee Jackson. Walker. To John Sharp. Walker. Gale. High kick. Mumby's under it. Oh, well taken by Keith Mumby. And referees penalised Rob Nolan for being inside the 10. Summers takes play about 20 metres from the halfway. Watson. Steve's already commentated, not a player that really creates a lot of play, Watson, for other people, but very dangerous with the ball in his hands. Fairbank again. Forward pass. Bradford supporters don't like it. I think all have been guilty of a similar thing, several occasions. Bit of a scrappy game, really. No real pattern to it at the moment. Penalty to Hull for Bradford pushing. Paul Eastwood. John Sharp, the blind side. But Bradford are wise to it. Daleoff. Walker. Daleoff. Dannett. Dannett charging through. Good run by Andy Dannett. McNamara. Dannett charging for the land. Pushed back by 4 Bradford defenders. Last tackle. Little flip pass. Ooh. McNamara, Steve McNamara just stopped a yard short on the 6th tackle. Penalty, I think, there to Bradford Northern. Signalled by the touch judge on this side. But really, Steve, we've had no continuity of attack, have we, to put Bradford under any real pressure.
Well, we've had plenty of possession, but really Hull's attack looking fairly innocuous. I think Bradford really are here for the taking, but there seems to be a bit of lack of urgency in the Hull attack. Been good at making the yards, but once again not particularly good at finishing off, because Hull haven't scored a try in 3 matches. Good long kicks. Richard Gay has to take it inside his own goal area. It's a good chase by Summers. Eastwood from acting halfback makes no yards forward at all. And Hull with the hard work. Russ Walker making the hard yards up the middle. Gale. Jones up to the 20-metre line. That's 2 good drives by the forwards. John Sharp makes another 10. It's the last tackle against Hull. It's back to Gale for the clearing kick. Taken by Darks. Up to the halfway line. High tackle by Eastwood, which is going to be penalised. And penalty to Bradford, just inside their own half. Well, Hull have clearly had as much possession and position as Bradford, probably rather more, but so far unable to cross that line. And it's Bradford now with a spell of attack. Roy Powell playing at 23 metres out. Here's Heron. Rather, David Hobbs. Watson switching. Back to Heron. Another double switch. Brings 15. Alan Boothroyd, who's come on, I think, for Paul Gratian. Here's Heron probing around the ruck, working very well. Very subtle handler of the ball. David Heron. Powell's going to play it 10 metres away. Heron again. Very much involved. David Heron still going. Oh, what a soft try. Well, he has been probing very well around the ruck, but really the number of Hull tacklers who fell off that, unbelievable. There really wasn't much danger there, Brian. There was no real support for Heron. He just really kicked out of the tackle, and you've got to say that was really fairly shabby defence.
It was shabby defence. He must have beat 3 tacklers really nearly from a standing start. Poor tackling that from Hull, very poor tackling. So they're waiting to bring Ian Marlowe on. That was just a tribute to determination more than anything else by David Heron. So it looks like Roy Simmons is taking this opportunity to make 2 substitutions. Poor Chico Jackson and Ian Marlowe coming on. And Jones and McNamara coming off. So I've been playing just over half an hour, or near 33 minutes. And it's Bradford 12, Bradford 14, Hull 2. I'm not surprised about the substitutions. I don't think he can be satisfied with the performance of the whole pack. Particularly the defence around the ruck's been very poor. Tapping. Fairbank. Penalty to Bradford. I think it's against Lee Jackson for holding his ankle. Hull can ill afford penalties. Summers makes about 20 metres with his kick, just short of the halfway. Watson collects it, collects a couple of tackles. That was a terrible bit of play there by David Hobbs, but Bradford get away with it. And Roy Powell crossed into the whole half. Watson to Fairbank. Fairbank gets rid to Anderson. Powell again, he'll run. Watson kicks, good kick by Watson. Finds touch just short of 20 metres from the whole line. But really, all they're playing without a lot of sparkle to me. They should be a lot fresher than Bradford Northern, but they don't appear to be. Scott Gale feeding. Daleoff takes on Summers, but Summers brings him down. John Sharp. To Jackson, to Chico Jackson. Marlowe. Marlowe's penalised for playing the ball to himself. David Hobbs is right on the halfway line, right in the middle, and David Hobbs is going for goal. Actually, I think the penalty was for not standing up and playing the ball, rather than playing it forward. But quite difficult to do, because at the time David Hobbs was pulling at his shirt. Well within his capability, this one. Big kick. It's going to drop short on the post. It does. Oh, Lee Jackson collects it. Lee Jackson still going. Marlowe. Makes some good ground. Oh, nobody running at the blind side there for Hull. A bit of a misunderstanding. Lee Jackson to Daleoff. Daleoff takes up, beats Powell. But Powell gets back to him. Hull look very disorganised then. Walker. Marlowe. Good driving run by Ian Marlowe. Ball back to Scott Gale. Who knocks it on. All under more pressure. Watson going for a gap. Oh, and slips it out to Anderson. Certainly showed his strength there, did Dave Watson. And he's got the ball again. Heron. Ball to the winger. Oh, good tackle there by Gary Nolan. Heron goes to the post again. Oof. Tackle by Jackson. Ball back. Hobbs. And the drop goal goes wide. Only just. We're just on half time now. Just a minute off half time. Damn it. Sharp. Gale. To Walker. Puts it. Jackson. Gale. Dalov. Oh, wrapped up there by Fairbank. Jackson. Inside to Richard Gay. Richard Gay still going. To Lee Jackson. To Marlowe. Nobody outside Marlowe. It's an open field for the winger Turpin. He'll score. He does score. Oh, terrible piece of play there by Hull. Making ground with passing Ian Marlowe. Just past the left wing pen. There's just nobody at home now. The Nolan and the Grant were there. The ball went to the ground. Turpin picked up the loose ball and always had too much space for the Hull coverers. But really, Hull can certainly have no complaints about that try. I thought at first he decided to go infield. He checked and then he went back out, and he was always going to make the line, Steve.
Yes, I think Hull pressed the self-destruct button now. And really, Brian, within sight of half-time, and Bradford now 16 points to 2 ahead. It's very difficult to find anything good to say about this whole performance. I really think this is probably in the worst half that Hull have played all season, because I don't think Bradford have been playing particularly well. But they've had a lot more enthusiasm. And Hobbs rubs salt in the wounds with a goal from 10 yards from the touchline, and it's 18-2. And there goes the hooter, and blessed relief for Hull. That really has been a dreadful half. And veteran David Heron, running the show for Bradford, has had an absolute field day, because he's been allowed to run, find his men with the passes and blend that by running at the Hull defence himself. And really, the last 20 minutes from Royce Simmons' point of view, an absolute nightmare, Brian.
Yeah, absolute nightmare. I mean, when the game started, I thought Hull looked quite strong, and Northern looks a team that they were playing a second game in a week, looking a bit stiff, not that keen, slow to bend, but really, that didn't last long. Like you said, Northern have just played with more enthusiasm than Hull, and Hull have made far too many unforced errors, putting themselves under terrible pressure.
So hoping for better things in the second half. Surely couldn't have a much worse showing than this. We'll be back for the second half shortly. Paul Eastwood getting ready to kick off. Hull with this 18-point deficit. And certainly if they're going to stand any chance in this game, it's going to need a transformed effort from the first half. And quite a bit of luck, I think. 18 points down. All that damage done in the second quarter of the game. Well, Paul Eastwood kicks off. It's taken by Watson. Here's Watson. Tackled just outside the 20-metre line. Summers. Powell. Eventually brought to ground some 12 metres short of halfway. Barraclough goes to the right. Hobbs kicks. Taken by Gary Nolan. Dearlove goes from acting half-back. Bradford offside. Fairbank, I think, perhaps the man he caught. And it's a chance for Hull to find a position inside the northern half and to exert some early pressure in this second half. think there have been any changes to either side at half-time. Bradford lost Gratian late in the first half, replaced by Alan Boothroyd. For Hull, Chico Jackson and Ian Marlowe on for Steve McNamara and Mark Jones. Gale, wide ball to Grant. Andy Dannett hits the flat pass. That's a good run by Andy Dannett. Switch, Gale. Grant. Inside the northern 20-metre line. Dearlove. Chico Jackson. And he's about 11 metres away. Short side, Sharp. Sharp, nice pass to Jackson. Dearlove kicks through. Oh, is it a try to Scott Gale? It is given. Well, that's the start the Hull needed in the second half. And the two Hull halfbacks combining really well there. Didn't seem to be a lot on. Hull had approached quite well into the Bradford line. Late in the tackle count. Nice little kick through by Andy Dearlove, and Scott Gale timed his run to perfection, and the try is scored. And what's more, Brian, under the post, so it should be 6 points.
Yeah, it should be. That was a nice little grubber kick there by Andy Dearlove. Hinge perfect. And Scott Gale was easily first there to make the touchdown. Well, it's just the start the Hull needed. Still 12 points deficit, but 38 minutes left in the game. Hull certainly ran with some enthusiasm for that first 2 or 3 minutes. Just got to keep it going for 40, not make mistakes, and still pull this game back. Eastwood kicks, converts, so it's Bradford 20, Hull 8. Summers to kick off. Summers, it should be Russ Walker's ball it is, and he gives it to John Sharp. Runs into Dave Watson. Dearlove. Chico Jackson at the blind side. Oh, good surging run by Jackson. Marlowe. Will just short halfway on the fourth tackle. Ball will go back now to Scott Gale. And it goes to Sharp. Sharp dummies. Last tackle. Good quick play of the ball. Gale puts it up. Is there first himself? Oh, but so was Keith Mumby to that one. Veteran took that ball brilliantly again under pressure. Dark runs off. Runs into 3 defenders. Watson. Oh, good surging run there by Dave Watson. Summers. Summers makes 15 yards. Barraclough. Jackson knocks it down. Must be a knock on. It is. So it's been scrum down Northern head and ball. Lee Jackson gets up with a limp. Watson's ball. Oh, nice ball into the gap to Mumby. It was put down by Sharp. Fairbank. Powell. Watson. Watson going. Watson goes. Watson. Watson will score! Just went past 3 Hull tacklers. As though the way there just clapped on the pace, running strongly and determinedly, rounded Richard Gay under the posts. But that was just strong running, Steve, and a determination to make the line there by Dave Watson.
try that Coach Roy Simmons will be very disappointed by. Really great individual running, attacking skills by Dave Watson, but Hull's defensive line really way back there, really putting no pressure on the runner. And the point is, Brian, it should never have got to been Richard Gay's tackle. It should have been stopped in the first line of defence. Hobbs converts 26 points to 8. So that comeback by Hull, that early try to Scott Gale, immediately cancelled out by Northern's first attack. Paul Eastwood has the job of kicking off again. Boothroyd on the kickoff. Now Watson. Certainly fancy running at the defence and view of the ease in which he cut through just there. Powell. Heron. Boothroyd again. Barraclough goes to acting halfback. Heron. Watson kicks over. McGowan. Still going. Whose ball is it? Bradford's ball again. Good kick, that. Fairbank. Tony Anderson. Taken by Rob Nolan. Good tackle. Watson at first receiver. Powell. Hobbs coming on the short side. Runs out of support, gets it back inside to Barraclough. Nice ball out to Watson. Out to McGowan. McGowan on the outside of Grant, gets it away to the winger. Turpin still going up to the 20-metre line. Inside it. Pull under pressure again, and Bradford moving the ball quite sweetly, moving the whole defence around. Heron takes them on. Last tackle, 13 metres out. Watson kicks through, and that's a good intelligent kick. Paul Eastwood has to kick it dead. Not much else he could do there. Hull got to drop out from under their own posts. Good long kick by Eastwood, bounces inside the northern half. Keith Mumby takes it with his foot and then runs at the defence. He's tackled 7 metres inside the Hull half by Dannerton Marlowe. Barraclough running off from acting halfback. Summers. Taken down by Chico Jackson and Andy Dannett. Now Boothroyd. Dannett again in the tackle. Hobbs standing on the short side, who will bring the ball across the ruck to Fairbank. Out to Watson. Bit of space here, Anderson. Last tackle. Anderson will play it 3 metres inside the full 20-metre area. Hobbs will go to the ground. Taken by Lee Jackson. Okay, he's taken. Gary Nolan, a few yards forward. John Sharp. Good run by Sharp. The switch, here comes Chico Jackson up the middle. Looks to turn and offload, didn't quite pick up his support. There's throws the ball himself and makes a good 10 forward, and a penalty against Bradford for offside. Player coming back to take him from an offside position. Paul Eastwood with a chance to find touch on the far side. So Hull with a chance to exert a bit more pressure. Dearlove, Gary Nolan. Lee Jackson finds Russ Walker. Good tackle by Heron. Again to the right, Andy Dannett. Dearlove. It's the ball away to Lee Jackson. Gale. Finds to Gary Nolan. Dannett brings the ball into the middle. He'll play it about 15 metres away. Dearlove. Ball comes to the right, Sharp. Oh, well picked up by Richard Gale. That pass not terribly well executed by John Sharp. It bounced first. Hull go to the left. Dearlove takes them on. Out it comes, Ian Marlowe. Back to cross it goes. Should be 6 more. Will be 6. But fortunate for Hull, bounced off Bradford legs, but good kicker on the ground. Lee Jackson has to run himself. Nobody coming at all. Grant. Dannett. Big run by Andy Dannett. Within 5 metres. Hull really desperately need to score here. Short side. Gale takes them on. Back inside to Jackson. Now Dearlove. Gale. Into the gap. Richard Gay. Back to Gale. Can Gale make it? Forward pass given. And the scrum to go down 10 metres away. Well, it's impromptu stuff, Brian. It's more keeping the ball alive and hoping that something happens rather than really organising it.
Yeah, certainly missing half an end, Jack, aren't they? Bit of a pause in play. I think it's Heron and Powell getting treatment. Hobbs and Powell. And David Watson as well. Both the Bradford Northern halfbacks, Summers and Watson, have made yards running with the ball. That's a big push from Hull. But it's Bradford's ball. Watson. Tackled by Lee Jackson. Barraclough. Roy Powell. Heron. Oh, it's nice that Sarr step don't get away that time. Last tackle. Hobbs. No, good long kick by Hobbs. Oh, what a kick. Rolled, spans touch about 12 metres from the Hull line. Lovely kick by David Hobbs. Steve McNamara coming on and Russ Walker coming off. Gale to feed. Penalty to Bradford Northern for Scott Gale not feeding the ball. And looks though the referee is going to send Scott Gale for 10 minutes to sin bin. think if we're talking back to the referee. Hull got the next 10 minutes with 12 men. Buldroyd. Barraclough to Watson again. Watson switching. Steve McNamara gets to him. Matt Jones warming up in front of us. Heron. Long ball. Oh. Tony Anderson finally gets it. Then the winger Dark was stopped. Fairbank straightens up and goes. Oof. Makes the ball available to Roy Powell. Stopped by Eastwood and still gets the ball out. To the room down the left. Tony Anderson's over. Well, that's just been a feature of Hull's tackling. Roy Powell was held by 3 men and still got a ball out, a speculative ball not out to McGowan. Terrible tackling there by Hull. And McGowan just ran for the corner, drew the last line of defence and put Tony Anderson over in the corner. Shocking tackling that, Steve.
Yes, yet again, I'm afraid. It was really nothing on. Roy Powell looked to be wrapped up, but he had the determination, and you've got to say the Hull tacklers didn't. He stood up in the tackle, he released the speculator, a ball that went on the floor, but it was picked up, and really there was nothing in front of Steve McGowan. He just had to draw the last man, and a very easy try for Tony Anderson. So David Hobbs with a chance to convert. Bradford already into the 30s. 30 points to 8. Off the post. And not over, so 30 points to 8 it remains. So it's Eastwood to kick off again. Bradford have brought Brett Itty on. I think it's for his first game of the season in the first team. Itty's gone to acting halfback. I think he'll get into the game by having a run from there. He does. Watson to Powell. Hobbs will kick early in the tackle count. Well, that's good thinking, I think. Puts Hull back in their own half. Lee Jackson clapping his hands, trying to get some extra effort from his forwards, and my goodness, they need it. Gay playing standoff from the scrum. Jackson to Ian Marlowe. Good straight running by Hull prop. Dearlove calling the moves. John Sharp. Nobody on his shoulder. Gay, Nolan, Grant. Ball gets away. Rob Nolan takes it. Out to Lee Jackson. He's taken down by Roy Powell, assisted by Anderson. McNamara. Forward pass. Sharp hitting the flat pass, but just went forward. And now Andy Dannett's turn to come off, and Mark Jones is going to return. So Royce Simmons has used his 4 substitutes. Now. And Northern with a chance to attack again as Watson feeds this scrum. Referee not happy. Heron had picked it up. Watson. Difficult man to put down. Itty. Slow attacks of Lee Jackson. So they play with a point to prove. He'll want to make a big impression. His first chance in the first team. To the right, Heron inside to Powell. Barraclough goes from acting half back inside. Knocked on by David Heron. And so that Bradford attack comes to nothing. Gay. Back inside to Dearlove. Tried and worked very hard, Andy Dearlove, but found it difficult to fulfill that organiser role. Good run by Sharp. Jackson out. Andy Dearlove puts it down. So the scrum to go down 25 metres from the whole line, and Bradford head and ball. Watson wins it. Andy Dearlove chases him well, puts him down. Here comes McGowan. Steps out of the tackle. Ian Marlowe. Taken by Jones and Jackson. Boothroyd. Bradford really fancying it. I think they can add to this 30 points. Knock on at the play the ball by Boothroyd. And chance for Hall to come back into it. The game entered a rather scrappy phase again, Brian.
Yeah, there's no real pattern to it at the moment. Just over a quarter of an hour left in the game, I think. Dearlove, Gay, Rob Nolan. But Nolan's tackling midfield's been very good in this game. Jones. Next 10 metres. McNamara. Lee Jackson to Gay. Oh, that's a better combination. But Heron there again in the tackle. John Sharp. Oh, ball to Chico Jackson. Hull drops it. Picked up by Mumby. Turpin. Both the Bradford young wingers have got involved and made ground. Summers. Watson. Stand out a little bit wider. Sam will put him down. Dark runs off, tackled by Lee Jackson. Powell, not Powell. Powell never gets it. Itty holds on. Makes another 10 yards forward. Watson, Heron. To Boothroyd. Oh, speculative pass out to Turpin. He should be put down before he gets very far, and he is. That's tackle. Heron, back to... Oh, ball back to Watson. Oh, the tilt just said it came off a whole hand. Unintentionally, I think, but nonetheless off a whole hand, so it'll be Bradford's head and ball. Oh, bad ball from Watson, but Summers picks it up brilliantly. Oh, and releases it to Tony Anderson, who'll score! Referee says a forward pass. Well, I didn't say anything wrong with the pass. We're going to be thankful for small mercies tonight. So this time it'll be Dale up to feed. Gale kicks. It's for James Grant. I don't think it'll reach him. Summers will be there first. Owen Grant misses the tackle. Releases, tapping down the wing. Young winger still going. Finally stopped by Jackson and Sharp. Jackson and Jones. But Northern coming again, running strongly. Barraclough. Stopped by Marlowe. It'll be Roy Powell's turn. It is. Takes it up. Better tackle there by the Jacksons. Heron helps. Oh, picked up by Eastwood, who's pushed into touch by Dark. So it's Northern's head and ball. Good kick there by David Hobbs. Put Paul Eastwood under a lot of pressure. Couldn't really let it go into touch. Watson still going. Oh, good strong run by Watson. Henderson, ball out. Mumby must go out to the winger, Tapin. No, it's not. It's just tackled into touch. Good cover defence there. Trying to see what Richard Gay got across. And Gary Nolan got across. Just got the winger into touch, about a yard short of the corner flag. Dale. Jones. Big run by Jones. Scott Gale to Richard Gay in the clear to Nolan. Oh, the ball goes behind Nolan. It's Northern's ball. Another mistake by Hull. A penalty against, I think it's Rob Nolan for holding the man down. Summers finds touch. David Hobbs. He hasn't run very often, but his kicking's been very effective this evening. Be Powell's turn. No, it's Mrs. Powell out. Finds Itty. Struggles another 5-6 yards with men on him. I think that's been the story to this evening's game, actually. Watson. Not a good ball to Summers, who loses it. But Hull are penalised for stealing the ball in the tackle. It's another penalty for Northern. I'm not sure that Summers ever got hold of that ball, but nonetheless. Summers going for touch. Powell. Roy Powell still standing in the tackle. Barraclough. Switch at Summers. Dummies goes, runs at Jones and Sharp, put down. Itty out and half back. Oh, short ball from Aaron to Bothroyd, who still struggles in the tackle, trying to get rid of it again. Watson kicks through, far too hard. I don't know if he thought it was going to be a drop kick or a grubber kick, Watson. whatever it was far too hard. Richard Gere running it out. Marlow. Lee Jackson. Dalov. Worked very hard, Andy Dalov. But nobody with him, no support. McNamara rolls out of a tackle, finds Rob Nolan, tries to straighten up. We've got Lee Jackson in front of us having treatment. James Grant kicks through, it should be his Biffy catching it, it's under the posts. Try for Grant. It's appeared in the middle of the field, little chip through, bounced up perfectly for him under the posts. Really far too late to matter in this game, but makes the score a little bit more respectable. Paul Eastwood to convert. He does. So it's Bradford 30, Hull 14. Bounces to Eastwood, runs across field, beats a man. Tackled by Powell. Jones. Big run by Jones. John Sharp. That's better by Hull. More determination in that play. Gale. Rob Nolan. Tackle short of halfway.
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Andy Dalov.
Samson Victor, Bradford Northern Man of the Match Award. To number 7, Dave Watson.
Scott Gale. Kicks. Oh! Knocks it on. Last tackle. Play the ball to Northern. And they just said that Dave Watson's got Northern's man of the match. Keith Mumby.
Anyone wants to see a rerun of Sunday's game at Wigan, the bars will be open from 7 o'clock on Sunday night.
Barraclough, stopped by Ian Marlow. Watson. Decides to take him on again. Still running, just bounces out the tackles, Watson. And gets the ball out to Powell. And Powell running. Really, at the moment, it seems that Bradford are running harder than Hull are tackling. Really, that's been the story of the evening. David Heron straightens up and goes, beats the first tackle. Hobbs. Another long raking kick by Hobbs. It should be Richard Gaye's ball. Runs into two Northern defenders. Rob Nolan, Gary Nolan works a run around with Lee Jackson, makes a few more yards. Into injury time now. Ian Marlow. And quite well in his return to the first team. Chico Jackson gets rid of the ball to John Sharp, who was immediately wrapped up by David Heron. Lee Jackson to Jones. Jones throws the ball out. Finally picked up by Grant to Eastwood, to Jackson, to Jones. Better attack there by Hull. Scott Gale puts the ball in the air. Oh, goes to the young winger, Turpin, who's making ground. Finally runs into Steve McNamara. Mumbai. Done nothing wrong at full-back for Bradford Northern. Itty kicks over. The first one there collects it. Paul Eastwood's got him. Important tackle by Eastwood. Watson to Powell. Hobbs. McGowan straightens up. It's got both right inside him, but the Hull's defence is up to it. Good tackle by Lee Jackson there. Working the short side to the young winger again, who's wrapped up by two Hull defenders. Not quite pushed into touch. Watson kicks. High one. Oh, knocked backwards by Summers, picked up by Chico Jackson. Dale dummies. Certainly can't fault Dale for his work rate. Steve McNamara. John Sharp. Picked up by Grant. Dale going again. Runs into a hard tackle from Itty. John Sharp. Inside to Jones. Jones drops it. Referee waiting while Andy Dale has treatment in the centre of the field. Watson breaking run around with Hobbs, but Hobbs straightens and goes himself. So it's finally tackled by McNamara and loses the ball. Now it's a penalty to Hull. I think it was for David Hobbs appealing against the decision. 1 into injury time now. It'd be nice if Hull could put 20 points on the board. Paul Eastwood kick puts Hull into the 20-metre area. Jackson goes to Jones. Holding down by Hobbs. Gale. Chico Jackson onto a short ball. And that's the hooter. The final score here from Odsal Stadium. Bradford Northern 30, Hull 14. And really on play, Steve, a well-deserved win for Northern.
Yes, it certainly was. Really, if you look at the two sides tonight, you thought that the side, if you were asked to identify the side that had a hard cup tie on Sunday, you'd have thought it was Hull, really, because certainly, particularly in that first half, that 20-minute patch, the second quarter of the game, a really poor performance from Hull, conceding 20 points, really to a Bradford side that, with 7 or 8 regulars missing and 2 youngsters making their debut on the wing. But Bradford, the truth of the game is that Bradford played with a lot more enthusiasm. They defended a lot better up the middle. Hull's attack really lacked variety and punch, and although Hull have scored 2 tries tonight, both coming from kicks, and good tries they were both, must worry Royce Simmons that in what is it now, in 4 matches Hull have not managed to create a try through the hands, Brian.
Yeah, very true, Steve. And we didn't really miss one tonight, did we? as you said, we got 2 tries, some kicks, and they were well executed. But no, we didn't. Certainly, our hands really aren't quick enough. The passing.
Hurry up and finish. Hurry up.
Passing was never really crisp enough to get an overlap for Hull. Yeah, quite worrying there for Roy Simmons.
Right, so we're taking that down for him.
That little and start splashing, that's it. I was sweating on the tape.
Right.